when you looked at the New England Patriots in the last year, in 2021, they got a solid year out of their new rookie quarterback, Mac Jones. But, man, the way they made it into the playoffs, they had one of the most unceremonious exits last year, getting their asses whooped by the Buffalo Bills. Like, literally getting boat raced. I still remember the score. I think it was like 47-17, I believe. And they let Buffalo score like a touchdown on every single drive, even by Mitch Trubisky, man. Like, damn. But anyway, going into that offseason, it seemed like when I talked about the season recap from last year, the focus should have been getting Mac Jones some help. But it seemed like they took the reverse route, because what they did, Josh McDaniels goes to the Raiders, becomes their head coach. And what does he do? He doesn't even fill the offensive coordinator position. He instead has QB coach Joe Judge and defensive coordinator Matt Patricia share the duties of offensive coordinator. Yes, two coaches that have never been an offensive coordinator. And especially Matt Patricia. He has never been an offensive coach. Like, how? How do you even do that? Like, how does Bill Belichick not understand that? Like, how? And then they also lost some key players on the offensive line, and on defense, they lost starting quarterback J.C. Jackson in free agency, and they didn't really use the draft to find Mac Jones some help. So going into the season, I didn't really have a lot of faith in the Patriots to make some noise, especially on offense, because look at it. Like, they didn't have an offensive coordinator. They didn't have a lot of help on the offensive line. It's like, where do you look at, see where a starting offensive lineman can be? And Mac Jones doesn't have help at receiver. So there are going to be a lot of problems on the offense that I talked about before the season started. And as expected, it persisted as the season went along. The offensive line, with the exception of Trent Brown and Isaiah Wynn, it had trouble protecting Mac Jones. And Jones took a lot of hits, throwing a lot of ill-advised throws frequently. And the play calling was bad, as expected, from Matt Patricia and Joe Judge. It's like they're calling a lot of like weird plays for Jones, like check downs, and a lot of wide open plays for Jones that they didn't expect, that they just chose not to do. And then Jones also missed some time early in the season because of a left leg injury in a blowout loss to the Ravens, mind you. Like, I don't know why why Jones was still in there when they were clearly losing big in that game. And then they also had this odd QB controversy with backup Bailey Zappi, the undrafted rookie. I mean, he looked okay in the 2.5 games when Jones was out. And then when Jones was benched for some inexplicable reason against the Bears on a Monday night, mind you, Bailey Zappi was dog shit. He was bad. So it's like Belichick benched Mac Jones for Bailey Zappi, who managed to look worse than Mac Jones. So it's like, what are they even doing? Well, like, why even bench Mac Jones when he just came back from injury, played like total crap, and then Bailey Zappi comes in, the fan favorite people were chanting for, and then he ends up playing like shit against the Bears, who weren't even that good. So it exposed a further problem that the offense, besides, like, of course, Mac Jones wasn't doing great, but the whole offense was doing bad. It's like, what is Belichick doing, man? What was he doing at that point in the season? So either way, the Patriots were 6-4 midway into the season, primarily thanks to their defense, and a luck win over the Jets. But thanks to the offense, it's like they were 2-5 the rest of the way of the season, and completely missed out on the playoffs again. So they could have snagged the last playoff spot, but yeah, we all remember what Jacoby Myers did against the Raiders in Week 15. We all remember that. So certainly it wasn't a great year for New England, but certainly dealing with the after effects of, Tom Brady leaving for the last 3 years. I mean, they certainly had their run. They certainly had their dynasty. You can't go wrong with, 6 Super Bowl titles in New England with Brady and Belichick, if you're a Patriots fan. But here you are dealing with the after effects now. You go 8-9. You get eliminated from playoff contention. But with especially how things went on the offensive side of the ball, there are certainly more questions than answers with how Belichick handled this season. And now it's going to handle this offseason. It's like, he at least got a proper offensive coordinator in, yes, Bill O'Brien. But he's Bill. But at least he finally got a proper offensive coordinator. But what about Mac Jones? You did him wrong. You did him dirty by not giving him a coordinator. And you still don't have help for him in 2022. Will you get him help this year? Will Bill Belichick, the general manager, get him help in 2023? That remains to be seen. So when you look at the Patriots' offensive offseason game plan for 2023 in the coming days, they at least have some money to spend. $36 million. Will they take advantage of it? We'll see. And when you look at their free agents, nothing too notable other than receiver Jacoby Myers. I think that's one key free agent that the Patriots are looking to re-sign because, he was the go-to target for Mac Jones in 2022 because, there were no receivers. There were no receivers other than Jacoby Myers for Mac Jones. Other than that, you have Devin McCourty at free safety, strong safety Jabril Peppers, tackle Marcus Cannon and Isaiah Wynn. So some decisions to be made. But what they do need to do, other than re-sign maybe Jacoby Myers, you have to get some offensive line help, specifically the tackle spots, because, like I said, Mac Jones was not only hit and sacked a lot last year, but remember, he missed 3 games because of that offensive line. The offensive line could use a lot more reliable options at right tackle and perhaps some competition at the guard spot. So if you want Mac Jones to stay upright because he's not really that mobile, at least not right now, get him some protection. Get him some help, please. And then, this is very important, get him some passing options. Get him some receivers. Not just one by re-signing Jacoby Myers, but get him 2. He needs more than just Jacoby Myers on offense. And I thought Kendrick Bourne was going to be helping him out, but it's like, he didn't do anything this year. He didn't do anything at all. I'm kind of surprised that for as much money as the Patriots threw out to him, it's like, he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything in these last couple of years. So they won't be able to find a number 1 in free agency because it's very sparse options at the receivers position. But maybe they use that 14th overall pick to get the best available wide receiver prospect that fits Bill O'Brien's scheme, and maybe find some help in the later rounds of the draft. Either way, you have to find Mac Jones some weapons on offense. You can't just go willy-nilly with running backs or lower tier receiving options. You have to find top receiving options for Mac Jones if you really want him to succeed. But overall, Patriots fans, at least, you got 6 Super Bowl championships. You reveled in the dynasty days of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, but now it's like you're experiencing the downside of it. You're experiencing that other coin of Belichick now. Now for 2022, obviously it's not a good year for New England, especially with that offense. But looking at the positive side of things, hopefully it's a positive side. If Bill Belichick decides to properly address the offense this offseason, with the vast resources that they have, you got a good amount of money, you got a solid amount of draft picks, maybe Mac Jones will fare in year 3 of the Patriot way. And if Bill Belichick doesn't, then expect more of the same, stay in the middle of the road, or maybe even worse, and less of the Patriot way in 2023.